What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk a little bit about chipping and the difference between a chip and a pitch. Today we're going to talk about an easy method to be able to get the ball rolling on the ground closer to the hole, and the ability to get up and down for either par, birdie, or even just say bogey sometimes. So come along with us. We'll show you some easy tips that can help lower your scores. All right, so today we're going to talk about a shot that many golfers struggle with, but we have a way that we can make this significantly easy for you, so when you go out on the course to play, you can lower your shots. As you can see here, I'm no more than 5 yards off the green, and my goal here is to get the ball rolling on the ground as fast as possible and letting it roll out to the hole. So most people, when they see this lie and they see this flag, immediately they're going to grab a sand wedge, either a 56, 54 degree, and they're going to try to hit a wedge shot close to the hole. Well, that could be very disastrous for most players, especially here in Florida when we're dealing with Bermuda grass. You know, the club tends to stick in the ground a little bit, and that's when you see those shots where you see those where the ball only goes 3 yards in front of you and you're in the same situation. So here what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate the sand wedge completely. In my hand I have a pitching wedge, 9-iron, and 8-iron. Sometimes I may bring in a 7-iron if needed, but in this situation when the green's not that big, I don't really need a 7. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to learn how to chip with my irons, and we're going to make it as simple as possible, because when we're chipping with these irons, it's going to be a putting stroke rather than a mini swing that we would use for pitching. All right, so in my hand, I'm going to use a pitching wedge for this shot. Again, we can use 9-iron, 8-iron, or sometimes even a 7-iron depending on the type of shot. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this club a putter. So I'm going to turn it more vertically, pointing straight up and down to the ground. And what I'm doing is I'm playing the ball back in my stance and having a narrow grip, or excuse me, narrow stance. And all we're doing here is we're making the same motion as our putter. Okay? As you notice, there's no wrist hinge. There's no trying to add power to this shot. This is just a nice finesse putting stroke I'm doing here. And all I'm trying to do is land the ball about a yard or two onto the green and letting it roll out. There's the hit. Nice roll out to about 3 feet. So we can experiment with different clubs. So I'm going to do that same stroke, but I'm just going to change to a 9-iron. All right, same thing, nothing changes. I want to keep the club more vertical, play the ball back in my stance, and keep my narrow feet. And now with the 9-iron, ball's going to have significantly more roll. Now with this yards, this is probably about 25-30 yards. I wouldn't really use my 8-iron for this shot, but if the pin was a little bit further, I might consider doing that and just playing in the same shot. Nothing changes. That's the beauty about using the iron system for when you chip, because when we use the iron system with every club, you're going to gain a little bit more yardage. So I'm just trying to keep it simple, using either a pitching wedge, 9-iron, or 8-iron. Now, how do we know which club to use? That's going to basically be up to you and knowing what you can do with each club. And yes, it does start with practicing and doing these shots for yourself. Typically what I like to do is split the green up into thirds. The first third of the green being pitching wedge or 9-iron, second third being 8, the last third being a 7-iron. Most of the time you're going to have either a 9-iron, 8-iron, or a pitching wedge in your hand, and that's fine. But experiment with all types of clubs. Do these shots on your own. See which one feels best for you. Use different examples. We're just trying to make life easier for us when we chip. We don't need a sand wedge. We don't need a 56, 60 degree club. We don't need to try to make our hard shot more difficult than it needs to be. All we need is a short iron, and just think about making that putting stroke and letting that ball just roll out to the hole. Again, it does take practice. You do need to get used to using this method, and I promise you, if you keep at it and you practice this method, you're going to lower your scores. All right, again, I hope those tips helped. I hope that you go out, practice those tips. They'll be beneficial to your game. I know they'll help lower your scores. Again, thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for following. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Hit that button down below. It doesn't take much, just one click away. And then I'll also put my golf Instagram in the comment section below. So you can follow me on Instagram, and we'll be able to continue this journey. And any tips that you may have or any questions, comments, please just let me know and we'll try to answer them for you. Thank you. Have a great day.